part of the FeldCare family, but also he's going to talk about something else very, very interesting today. My guest today is Shahar Peled, and Shahar is the COO of CliniConnects and CEO of CliniConnects and COO of FeldCare Connects. Shahar, thanks for stopping by. How are you?
Hey, thank you, man. It's great to be here.
All right, so kind of tell me, we're talking in the green room. You're an entrepreneur. I know we're going to hang out. I know I'm going to have to come to Florida. You're going to come to Ohio. We're going to stay connected in so many ways. And that's why the power of podcasting. But tell me the story of how you started CliniConnects. What was the reason?
So the story of CliniConnects, it started out like this basically. 2 years into the creation of FeldCare Connects, we started to grow. That's the contract therapy company that contracts with home health agencies all throughout, the country. But a few years into that, um, I saw that I think there was a previous interview here with Randy Peled, the CEO. I saw that she was constantly needing to be asked where certain clinicians operate in a given territory. And as the COO, the Chief Operations Officer of FeldCare Connects, I I kept thinking about how would it be possible for us to scale our operation if one person who happens to be the CEO is the one that can identify where all the clinicians can deliver services. So I saw that as a big problem because you number one, you can't have just one person in your company know where all your clinicians are, where all the clinicians that you work with deliver services. That's one thing. But number two, that can't also be the CEO. And number three, what happens if something happens to that person and you still need the referrals that are coming in, to your therapy company. You have to be able to distribute them accordingly. There are just many problems with not having an infrastructure in place that can be automated. So I started to look online for solutions that can automate that process. And as I was looking online for solutions, I discovered that it would cost a tremendous amount of money to piece together, five, six, seven, eight pieces of technology to try even to come close to automating something. So I said, okay, good. Uh, I've got to figure out how to build this thing. That's how CliniConnects came about.
Okay. So to build something like this, and I think it's such an important thing. I've been talking to therapists from that partner with FeldCare, and I'm absolutely blown away in the fact that you make it simple and easy
Right.
for the therapist to find the patient through the home health agency. And that is huge because a lot of times it's going to be a process and it's going to be a lot of paper in certain organizations and it's about, hey, the database is wrong. It's and the therapist is chasing to try to even get an appointment. They're like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to go somewhere else.
Right.
That's the pain point that why CliniConnects is around to have all this everything connect together in one. So tell me how it specifically works.
So, you know, you have you have the therapy company and they get a referral from some referral source. Let's just for purposes of discussion, they get the referral from the home health agency. Okay. Home health agency, most of the times they don't have their own network of clinicians, so they outsource it to contract therapy companies like FeldCare Connects, just as an example. And those therapy companies have to figure out how to identify which of the clinicians that are in their network would be the best match.
Right.
Now, there are many things that you have to look at to determine what is needed for that referral. In other words, is there a specialty? Is there a certain gender preference that's wanted? Is there a certain language request? Is there what exact location that you need to identify where the clinician services? And you can't just do zip codes because a zip code is too large of a zone of area. You need to have it down to an exact drawing on a map. And you need to have many drawings so that when a clinician says, well, parts of my day I'm in this location and parts of my day I'm over here, and I only want to work over here these times of the day and whatever, you have to be able to organize it like that. So by doing that, when a referral goes into CliniConnects, specific to the company that it's working with, then there's algorithms that can identify who is the best person to match that patient with. And there's an application that the clinicians download from the App Store or the Google Play Store or whatever phone they have. And when there's a new referral that clinician can take, they have the option to be able to, they get a notification on their phone and they can open it up and they can say, yes, I can take the referral, or no, I can't. And if they say no, they can say, why not? And then the therapy company can run reports to identify, which therapists are saying no, why are they saying no? It helps them handle the logistics of everything that's going on for the therapy company. That's just a piece of what CliniConnects does.
Absolutely. And so if let's just talk about FeldCare. FeldCare gets the referral from the home health agency, and then they are putting it into CliniConnects. Is that
So
how?
FeldCare, that's right.
Yeah.
So there's a few different ways that a referral can get put into CliniConnects with Feld. Just to be clear, CliniConnects is a software as a service, and each therapy company out there around the country can implement CliniConnects for their own therapy company. And the rules that therapy company wants to put in place, they can put those rules in place with implementing CliniConnects. So one therapy company that uses CliniConnects might have different rules that they've built in CliniConnects than a different company that implements CliniConnects.
Right.
You can build all kinds of rules around how you want the referrals to be distributed and sent out. It's very cool, actually. Now, back to your question, which is, how does FeldCare get its referrals? It gets its referrals from home health agencies, and the home health agencies can log into their, CliniConnects login, and they can submit referrals directly through CliniConnects, or FeldCare gets its referrals from home health agency, maybe the home health agency calls or whatever, and somebody in the office at FeldCare enters the referral into the CliniConnects portal. That's how the referrals go through.
And I'm understanding, and what makes it really nice is if you're a home health agency that's tired of working with archaic systems of other therapy companies, they're going to go and say, I like this CliniConnects. I'm hearing FeldCare is doing amazing things because they have systems and processes in place compared to this other therapy company right down the road that doesn't. Well, I'm going to give the referral to this one because
That's
it's
right.
more systematic, more easy than having to pick up a phone or maybe sending an email and waiting. Did that home health agency, did that therapy company put the information in? Did they even get to the therapist? How quick was this referral taken care of? Because sometimes referrals can take 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes
That's
more,
right.
to
That's right.
find the right person.
On survey, you will find that agencies, that one of the biggest things, the two biggest things that home health agencies want to accomplish is they want to receive good communication from the clinicians, and they want to make sure that the speed of staffing the referral is within a certain amount of time. Those are the two things that home health agencies uh, uh, voice that's very important for them, right? And why is speed important? Because when a patient gets discharged from a hospital and the patient has to go home, the speed in which you can get a physical therapist there, an occupational therapist, a speech therapist, will determine the rate of getting that patient better faster. And if you delay getting a therapist to the patient's home, then you increase the chances that the patient will return back to the hospital, which is not good for anybody, and you reduce the care that needs to be given to that patient. So
Right.
if you put in place a system like CliniConnects, then the speed in which you get the referrals to be distributed out to the clinicians within your network drastically increases. And you're solving one of the biggest problems that the agencies are encountering, which is that they need to, as quickly as possible, get the patient staffed.
Right. So, I mean, and it makes so much sense. And the other thing that, so people are that have therapy companies that want to connect with CliniConnects, they have to understand it is HIPAA compliant, right? That's a big part of it. There are software as services that could do something similar, but the problem is it's not HIPAA compliant.
That's right. That's absolutely correct. It's HIPAA compliant. The way the referrals get distributed, pieces of information are given to the clinicians in ways that make sure that the information is protected. Um, that's definitely accurate and something that the industry as a whole probably should get better at. But sometimes sometimes the industry is inhibited by the available tools or technology that are accessible in the marketplace. So that's a good point, and definitely something that CliniConnects can help these organizations with.
Absolutely. Let's talk about CliniConnects, who they serve. You said therapy companies is
Yeah.
who would work with you. What types of therapy companies? We know FeldCare, does home health, it works with home health agencies. Are you only focusing on that area, or are you working with other types of therapy companies?
Yeah, pretty much any mode of delivery that delivers services to patients in their home can utilize uh, CliniConnects. We like to focus on the rehabilitative space, like physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. Nurses, a company that maybe has nurses could also use it, but that's kind of the area that is our focus at the moment. Healthcare in the home.
Okay, so how many are there out there? So like I've just first time I ever heard of this was FeldCare, connecting it to the therapist of home health agencies. Are there a ton of therapy companies in the United States?
A ton. We should probably look up what the definition of a ton is, right? I don't know that I could say that there's a ton of them, but there's definitely thousands of therapy companies out there that would need these kinds of services. And maybe it's not all, just therapy, but other organizations that deliver in-home healthcare services can benefit off using CliniConnects.
One could be the early intervention part.
That's right. That's right.
That's which I was a developmental therapist, birth to three, did behavioral therapy, birth to three back in the day. So I know that, and that's a very big, and depending on what early interventions offer to any uh, it's the referral starts when they're born.
Right.
And that sets in that situation. Then is that harder depending on the city and the situation and the challenges of again of early intervention. So that's something else CliniConnects focuses works with, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. The,
Interesting.
the, the same logistical problem that you have is the same across the board. You get a referral and you have to figure out how to find the right clinician for that referral. Right now, the way that it's mainly done is using Excel sheets and Google Maps. That's the
And
way
yeah.
companies do that. They get their Excel sheet out with all the listed names of clinicians. They look through it and they start sending messages out one at a time or through WhatsApp or whatever in a group text message or whatever it is. And they try and find the person that's going to accept the case like that. And they get Google Maps out and they open their Google Maps and they look on Google Maps and they try and figure it out like, okay, good. I've got these clinicians. Let me reach out to these ones. And then I've got my Google Maps up. Let me figure out who to go to. And that's the process. That's literally how it's done.
And as the COO of FeldCare, you saw those headaches.
Yeah. And I just was not willing to experience those headaches anymore. And I don't think taking drugs for those headaches is the right approach either. So I built a software to make sure that that all got handled.
And that's huge, for sure. How can people that have therapy companies contact you? Do they want to work with you?
Yeah, so they can go to our website, cliniconnects.com. They can get a free demo. We'll be happy to get a free demo through there. They can send an email to info@cliniconnects.com as well. And we'll be totally happy to sit down and find out how we can help them.
All right. That was fantastic. That was a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show.